What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Himbo Arthur Hillary, man, back with another one. Man, if it's your first time to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button because we're going to be hitting y'all with a bunch. If you back, man, welcome back. Let me get something out the way real quick. YouTube, this video is not to promote the sale of any firearms. Any firearms shown in this video are in legal configuration. Nothing illegal going on with any firearms. They're all cleared. I will be talking about some legal issues, so I'm not legal counsel. I'm not here to give anybody legal advice. Just letting people know what's been going on with my situation and what I went through and maybe some things that you can expect. So with that being said, man, welcome back. Arthur Hillary, it's your boy Himbo. Like I said, today, man, we're going to talk about how I went from a convicted felon to a firearms owner. Man, it was a tough little road. Not really, but it took a lot more time than I thought it was gonna take. And once I thought everything was clear, I still ran into some road bumps. So let's just take it back, man. We're gonna go back. I caught my felony charges, both of them. I was convicted of 2 different felonies back in 2006. I was a young man at the time, wasn't living right. It was the trap or die era, man. I thought I was Young Jeezy or BMF or Big Meech or somebody. Definitely wasn't getting as much money as them, but I was just out there moving and grooving in the streets, not living right. And eventually it caught up to me. I caught my first charge. Little place I was in got raided. They found some illegal substances on me, and somehow I was able to get OR'd out because it really was some lightweight. So I thought I dodged one there, but I was on probation in a different county, in another town in Indiana. All this stuff happened in Indiana, where I'm from. Another town, I was on probation for driving while suspended there, so they found out that I had caught that drug case, and they violated me. So when they came and picked me up, some more illegal substances was found on me. So boom, back to back, I got hit with 2 felony charges. I managed to get out. Was fighting the cases, waiting to go to court or whatever. And I got put on probation for both of them. But at this time, I still wasn't living right, man. So I messed it up. I stopped reporting to probation. Kind of went on the run. I wouldn't say I went on the run, but I definitely stopped reporting. And when they finally caught up with me, man, it was time to go sit down. So end up in the Department of Corrections in the state of Indiana. For a little while, a couple years, in between 2008 and 2010 is when I served my time. I get out, while I'm in there, I'm really telling myself, like, bro, you wilding out. You got to chill. My son was an infant at the time. I already had 2 daughters. Me and my wife, my current wife, we were together back then, but kind of like in turmoil. So, just messing up the whole family dynamic. And I didn't like the way I seen my life going. And sitting down in that joint, man, it really opened my eyes to, you better tighten up or it's just going to be your life. So, I got in the Word, got in the Bible, man. I started meditating to myself, trying to figure out what I wanted my life to be moving forward. And I knew it wasn't going to have nothing to do with the criminal activities. So I served my time. I got out. I was on parole and probation for 3 years. I started making a decent living. Well, I won't say a decent living. I started making an honest living when I came home. Actually, the first job I got, I started off at minimum wage. And I ended up parlaying that job into like a manager role, climb the ladder. Ended up getting like a salary manager role. And, after time, that job fizzled away. and then me and my family moved from Indiana to Florida. Now, when we got to Florida, man, that's when our life really started to elevate and take off. And over time, we started acquiring nicer and nicer things. We all three of the homes well, two of the homes we lived in Florida. The first home we lived in was a townhouse. It was brand new. Then we had us a house built that was brand new. Now, around the time when we got the house built, this was about 2019, so 9 years had then passed. Life had lifed up until that point. And when we got our first house built, that's when I really started thinking about all of the stuff, all of the things that I had lost, just besides that time that I had spent away from my family. The right to vote, I couldn't get, certain type of loans and stuff like this. Couldn't get student loans. Couldn't bear arms, and that really bothered me, man. That really bothered me that we done worked so hard to get to where we at, and if trouble come knocking at our door, I'm just gonna be, I'm pretty much SOL, as they say. I'm out of luck, and I had to defend my family and myself with other means, and that really didn't sit right with me, man, and I really wanted to change that. I didn't take any actions to like see what I needed to do to get my rights restored. It just so happened when we moved into our home, it was a nice neighborhood. Everybody on the block was some type of professional. One of my neighbors ended up being um, a federal defense attorney. Now, none of my cases were federal that I had, but he was a lawyer, and me and him were chit chatting it up one day, just shooting the breeze outside with a couple of other dads on the block, and I think it was around election time, and they out there talking about this candidate, that candidate. I really don't get into like speaking about politics and things like that, but I did give my little 2 cents saying that if a candidate wanted me to get behind them, they'd have to be with reform for former criminals who done got their life together, and they just want to be like everyday law-abiding citizens just like everybody else. And that kind of raised his eyebrows a little bit, and he kind of mentioned that day he think he would be able to help me out with that. So, some time had went past, and he calls me, this is several weeks, if not months later, and he gets to asking me about certain cases from my past. He was like, what's going on with this case, and what happened with when you got caught with the gun? And I'm like, yo, buddy, what are you talking about? He was like, no, man, I'm trying to put together a motion to get your rights back. So I'm like, oh, bet. So he ended up figuring out that it would be easier to get an attorney in Indiana, where I'm from, and get them on it because they have more access to the courts and things like that. So, but only not at that point. They didn't only want to get rid of the felony convictions I had. They wanted to wipe my entire slate clean, like anything I had ever been locked up, charged with, arrested for. They wanted everything gone. And mind you, I tell y'all, I wasn't living right back then. It was a couple pages of stuff, man. Everything from disorderly conduct, driving while suspended, carrying a firearm without a license, all types of stuff, man. Just all types of foolery, man. you know. But so they wanted to do all of that, and they started submitting the paperwork, going to this court, Mind you, we talking about. I'm from Gary, Indiana. I was living in Indianapolis, Indiana when I caught the cases. The other little town that I had the case in was in like halfway in between, not even halfway in between, but a little further outside of Indianapolis, going back towards Gary. So we had these 3 different counties that we had to fool with, and the big thing was the felonies. So mind you, my buddy, my neighbor, he just doing this out the kindness of his heart. So I wasn't really spending any money on this, so I really wasn't pressing the issue too much. I was just kind of like hoping that everything would work out. Uh, but fast forward, we end up getting ready to move from Florida to Tennessee, where we are now, and we still hadn't had any resolve on the situation. So my lawyer from Florida started pressing the lawyer from Indiana, letting them know like, hey man, he's moving. What's going on? Is this gonna cause any problems? So it kind of lit a fire up under his ass and got things rolling a little quicker. We did end up moving. I moved to Tennessee at the end of 2024, like August of 2024. I got both of my expungement letters. I got the first one in November of last year, and I got the second one in December of last year. So that's what happened with that. And these were some of the sweetest words I ever read. It is therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed that the petitioner's verified petition for expungement of arrest and conviction record is granted. Hallelujah, man. So I'm geeked at this point. I'm super geeked. But they told me like, yo, chill out. Don't go try and purchase any firearms or anything like that. And I kind of figured that's what, was going to be the case. It was going to take a little while for the ink to dry on these matters, especially being it with, we filed these petitions in Indiana. I was living in Florida when they were filed. And in the midst of all of that, I had moved to Tennessee. So I waited, man. Like I said, we got the second one back in December. I waited all the way up until April of 25 of this year. On my birthday, I went to go attempt to purchase a pistol. They ran the background. It was denied. I kind of expected that, but I was kind of worried before then. Like, what do you do on that application when it says, have you ever been convicted of a felony? And then I read this page here on my expungement. Petitioner shall be treated as if petitioner had never been convicted of the offense. That's all I needed to see. So when they denied the sale of the firearm, they give you like this appeal process. And then when you do that, they start letting you know what type of documentation and anything like that they need or what's causing you to be denied. So they said they needed a copy of the expungement letter just from only one of the places. The other one didn't pop up. Just one of the places it popped up. So, like I said, my lawyer was in Indiana and I'm living in Tennessee. He sent me a PDF file of all of the expungement papers. So I forwarded that to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations and waited a little while. I called up there. It's kind of hard to get a person on the phone. They like to do everything electronic. And it was denied again. They just weren't giving me too much information. They said, we're going to send out another letter. And at this point, man, my mail was coming up missing. Like, a bunch of stuff just didn't come through the mail. My wife had, when it got her license, switched from Florida to Tennessee. It never showed up. Like, important stuff was coming up missing in the mail. So I get the letter. It's pretty much saying the same thing. I finally get somebody on the phone. They told me they needed a stamped and sealed copy of the expungement papers. So I didn't have that. I only had the PDF. And, I had to petition that court and ask the judge to send me the stamped and sealed files. Now, this is what... be careful not to show so much more information in here. Now, this is just the one that I printed out. You know what I mean? This is just the one that I printed out. There's no stamp, no seal on there. It say filed on there, but this is what they were looking for. They were looking for, I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's like a little stamp, and it has like that little paper, like it's stamped inside the paper. They needed that copy. I got that. And they sent me 2 copies, one to keep for myself and one to send to TBI. But as soon as I seen that the judge had received it, he must have made a call to the TBI and just told them that everything was good. And I'm steady checking the status of my appeal. And I checked it on a Sunday night. On a Sunday night, it was May 20th, and it said overturned. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I called, man, I was so geeked, I barely slept that night. I called my FFL. And these folks been holding on to the money. I already paid for this pistol for over a month now. And they was like, yeah, man, come pick it up. Boy, that was him right there. So at that moment, I went and picked up my first legal firearm purchase, which happens to be my SIG X Macro P365. This thing is clear YouTube, nothing in the chamber, nothing, no magazine, safe direction. So at that point, man, that must have been one of the happiest days outside of having kids get married, man. One of the happiest days of my life, man. I called my boy in Florida, the attorney. You know, I just thanked him so much, man, because he really looked out for me. And you know, he just knew I was an all-around good dude, man. I was well known in the community down there. I was a business owner. I was, you know, doing things for like charity and giveaways for, you know, just helping the community out, man. And everybody that knew my story, I didn't share it with everybody, but everybody that kind of knew me, the people that I got close with, they was like, man, you know, if anybody deserve it, you do. So that's how I went from being a felon to a firearms owner. I know the story dragging out, man, but if you just stick with me for a little bit, I'm gonna wrap it up. Now, if you're in the same type of situation, and if it's some people on here that may have never been in any trouble, and you know, legal firearm owners, you're just one step away, man, from losing all of that. Like you brandish that weapon in a heated moment, that's an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and now you have a felony charge. And if you're convicted of it, say goodbye to that collection, man. I see people on here with 20, 25,000, 30, 40, $50,000 collections. Could you imagine, man, one false step, all that's gone? Wise up. And the people that's, you know, on the verge of getting that stuff expunged, man, if they'll make it real easy for you to try to give up. Like I said, I had a lot of help. I had an attorney helping me. Um, and he was doing it out of the kindness of his own heart, you know, with the attorney in Indiana and everything. Um, you know, if you don't have an attorney helping you, don't got the money to pay for an attorney, there's still ways that you can do this by yourself. You just have to be consistent and persistent. You know you gotta, you know, you're gonna get a bunch of no's, but you can't accept that no for a final no. And if you're eligible, because some people ain't eligible, some charges are, you know, considered unforgivable. But if you feel like you're eligible and you can do it, man, that's what you need to do. Um, you know, and then once it's everything, you get everything expunged, just be patient, and you might have to put a little more leg work in after that. Um, and then at that point, man, you'll be able to go, you know, go pick you some stuff up, man. Go pick you some stuff up. This is clear too, YouTube. Got empty mag. You know, you'll be able to go start grabbing some stuff, man. And that's what we on, man. It's the best feeling in the world, man. You can go get you know. I even went to be able to go pick wifey up some stuff. Also clear YouTube, you know. Also clear. Yeah, man. And then that's just the best feeling because I only had this one here. This the only one I had trouble with. I waited over a month for them to clear me to pick this one up. But after that, every time I go in there, whether it's buying something from the store or picking up a transfer, it's pay the fee out the gate, man. It's the best feeling in the world. I wish I could do it every day. Um, But when you do get your rights, man, I pray that you do get your rights back, man, and women. If that's what you desire, when you get them back, man, protect them, because I know we know what it's like to not have them, and you know what it's like once you get the right to have them back, man. Don't ever give them away. I feel like I gave my rights away the first time. I knew I wasn't living right. I didn't really uh, foresee everything that I would lose outside of the time that I spent away from my family. But in hindsight, looking back, man, I gave those rights away, and I had to fight like a mug to get them back. Luckily, I'm blessed enough, and I was able to create relationships that was able to help me out in that. But at the end of the day, I still had to fight tooth and nail to get them back. So that's really all I got for y'all, man. I hope y'all stay to the end of this. I know this is a long one, uh, but I pray that if you in that same situation and you really turned your life around and you really deserve to be just like every other proper citizen, every law-abiding citizen, I pray that that happens for you, man. Don't give up. Keep fighting. If you got any questions about something that I may not have covered, drop it in the comments. Subscribe, because you're going to see me keep coming and keep coming and keep coming with this content, man. I'm not going nowhere. I started my firearms journey day one. The day I was able to go pick up this, that's when I started posting YouTube content. Go check that video out, man, and see how happy I was. The quality of the content ain't all that when I first started, but yeah, just go check it out and see the smile on my face, see the excitement, and prepare yourself to be that excited. And like I said, if I can help you with anything, man, drop it in the comments. I'll try my best. Like I said, I'm not no lawyer. I can just tell you what I went through. So man, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Himbo, baby, Art of Illery. Remember, God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but a power and of love and of sound mind. Appreciate y'all for rocking with the boy. Y'all stay blessed.